March 18th just passed by, and that means a lot of people bought John Doe. So I'm going to be explaining how to use all 3 of his abilities effectively in this video. To use John Doe, you have to be less reliant on the chase, as John Doe is quite a slow killer, not having much of an ability to catch up to the survivors easily compared to someone like Cool Kid. That's why when you're using him, you're going to want to think ahead a bit. I'll explain how you can do that as we go through each ability. The way that you use corrupt energy changes as the match progresses. One of the best ways to use it at the start of a match is to use your R, see where people are working on a gen, get near to them, and just shoot the spikes into them. This gives you free damage early on and speed to initiate the chase. When a survivor is heading to a loopable area, which is usually somewhere on height, your main goal is to prevent them from leaving that area using your spikes. You can see that Vashedletsky was blocked off from running away, which meant he was completely cornered and a free kill. The reason why it's a good idea to walk backwards in a situation like this is because once you hit him, he's going to get a speed boost. So if you walk backwards, you're going to be following him instantly and preventing him from running away. This is another good situation where Elliot is waiting for me to come up so he can easily just drop down and loot for me. You can see how I go to the wall and shoot my spikes out to the side so that if he falls down, it prevents him from going over as well. Combining this with John Doe's trap is basically just a guaranteed kill. He dropped down, was caught by the spikes, and forced to go through the path that has my trap, meaning I got speed and he was dead. So in summary, your spikes are mainly used to stop looping and force people down a specific path. Corrupt Footprint is an amazing ability at basically just deleting a part of a map. Any place that you don't want the survivor to go is where you put it. You can see in this clip that the guest tries to run away towards the van, but there's a trap there, because I placed it earlier, as I know that's an annoying looping spot that survivors can use to their advantage. There's usually one amazing place for you to completely seal off on every map, so I'll go through those quickly. This house is definitely the most dangerous area on the map for the killer, as the survivors can easily loop through the buildings and around the side. And for a slow killer such as John, this is a big problem. That's why I think the best places to trap on this map are the doorway going into the house and next to the tree on the side of the house. If they decide to go into the house through the door, they're going to be forced into your trap, which means you get speed, they get slowness, and they have nowhere to go inside the house as well. This means that they're either forced to go down the left side, getting hit by another one of your traps, giving you speed and them slowness once again, which basically means they're just dead. Or they go down the right side, which means they're going to have to walk through the poisonous lake and take more damage in the process. And this is all assuming they even made it out of the house alive. On Ultimate Assassin Battlegrounds, I like to put the trap at the entrance to this mountainy area and to the left side through the tunnel. This is really strong because they're either going to go through the front entrance and get hit by a trap, which then means they'll either go left into your other trap, or right, which you'll probably catch them because of their slowness and your speed. Now on to this map, I just think it's the worst map for John Doe. It's completely open, there's no indoor areas. The only good times you can really use your spikes are when someone's on a generator and when someone's at the border of the map where you can actually block them off. Your best bet for your traps on this map is probably just putting them on generators for random speed boosts that can help you out in chases. Or if you really want to, you can maybe put a few in the middle of the map around a big tree, as a lot of people usually cross through that area. On Horror Hotel, you're pretty free to do whatever you want with your traps, to be honest. There's so many good hallways you can block off, which just prevents an escape route for the survivor. Personally, I think a pretty good spot to trap off is this yellow area, as usually if they go up the stairs, they're going to be hit by it, because you'll be behind them, which means they have to go through the area. On this map, I recommend you either trap here on this slope to prevent them from coming up and looping you in a future chase. Or if you want to be a bit more technical, you go into this white area and you trap one of the entrances, because if a survivor happens to walk in through the safe entrance, they're going to be completely stuck, forced to go through one of the traps, and you're going to kill them. On glass houses, my favorite place to trap is the entrance to the staircase on both doorways. The reason this is so good is because survivors like to go up the staircase, wait for you to come up, and then drop down. This gives them a lot of time to escape. So by doing this, you deny easy access to this good looping spot. And by the way, if they do wait at the top of a staircase, this is a perfect time to use your spikes, because you know they're going to try and run away as soon as you go up. So shoot your spikes out and curve to the wall. You don't want to curve too early, because the gap between the spikes and the fall might be too small, which means they can drop over it. And I recommend using your spikes standing here so that there's no gap for them to get through in the doorway. And finally, C00l Carnival, the last map on our list. I think one of the best spots for a trap is on this staircase, as it prevents the survivor from easily looping you over here. Another spot that I think is great is this red checkered area, as it's another one of those spots that John Doe struggles with. Here is another good spot because it completely prevents the survivor from even entering this room. You can also place a trap on either side of this area, because if they go through the main entrance, they're going to be forced to hit a trap on their way out, assuming you're chasing behind them. By the way, the van is still a great spot, and inside of a red area, I think this is a pretty good spot as it stops the loop from being extended if they go this route. And it's especially effective if you block off the other staircase, which forces them to go that route. Oh, and by the way, his R ability, basically just use it whenever you want, to be honest. The only time it might be bad is if you're mid-chase, but even then it can be useful if you want to see where they're going to go. You can see here that I got a bit lost and used it and saw where the survivors were and continued the chase. Also, John Doe has a pretty strong tech, which is where if you turn around holding S and you use your spike, and then you turn around after a couple of them have spawned in, it will basically skip the first couple of spikes, meaning they won't know which direction the spikes are coming from. You can kind of imagine it like this. Instead of appearing one by one like this, the first few go backwards, and then it wraps around when you turn around, and then it goes back to being in front, so it basically skipped those spikes. Well, that's the end of the guide. Thank you for sticking around to the end, and I hope you enjoyed this more simulated style, kind of showing how the survivor has to act in each of these situations. And once again, thanks for watching. See ya!